Imagine a time, long before recorded history as we often think of it, when our ancestors first looked up at the night sky. They weren't just seeing points of light, they were seeing a story, a cosmic drama playing out above them. This story began in a land nestled between two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, a place we call Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Here, in what is now modern-day Iraq, humanity took its first giant leaps. They invented writing, they built the first cities, and they developed a profound and complex understanding of the universe, a worldview woven from observation, fear, and wonder. It was here that the human imagination first tried to grasp its place in the grand, cosmic scheme. These ancient people were pioneers of the mind, they were farmers, and their lives were intimately tied to the cycles of nature. The floods of the rivers, the turning of the seasons, the movement of the stars across the velvet darkness, these were not random events. To the Mesopotamians, they were the actions of powerful, unseen forces. They were the whims of the gods. So, they created a pantheon, a family of gods as vast and intricate as the star-filled sky they studied so intently. Their myths were their first science, their first attempt to explain the universe's great mysteries. At the very top of this divine hierarchy was Anu. Imagine him as the silent, distant chairman of the cosmic board. He was the god of the highest heavens, the ultimate source of all authority. His power was more foundational. He was the one who decreed the fates and bestowed kingship. Below Anu, holding the reins of power on earth, was Enlil. He was the god of the wind and the storms. His breath could be a gentle breeze or a destructive hurricane. It was Enlil in his fury who was said to have brought forth the great flood to wipe out a noisy and troublesome human population. And then there was Inanna, later known as Ishtar. She was the goddess of love and beauty and war. She could inspire the deepest passions of love and then lead armies into brutal conflict. She famously descended into the underworld, a perilous journey to challenge the queen of the dead. These were just a few of the major players in a vast and crowded pantheon. There was Enki, the clever god of wisdom, magic, and the freshwater abyss. There was Nana, the moon god, and his son, Utu, the sun god, who was also the god of justice. It was a complex system, a cosmic bureaucracy that managed every aspect of existence, from the sprouting of a single barley stalk to the turning of the constellations. One of the most fundamental stories the Mesopotamians told was their epic of creation, the Enuma Elish. It begins not with light but with water. In the beginning, a swirling chaos of primordial waters. Tiamat, dragon-like goddess of the saltwater ocean. Apsu, god of the freshwater abyss. From their mingling, the younger gods were born. They were noisy and energetic. Their boisterous activity disturbed Apsu's slumber. Apsu plotted to destroy them. This is a story about generational conflict. The old order versus the new. The younger gods were terrified. Enki, clever among them, cast a spell on Apsu. He put Apsu into a deep sleep. Then Enki killed him. Tiamat was enraged. She vowed revenge. She created an army of terrifying monsters. The gods were powerless. Then stepped a new hero, Marduk, a young, powerful god, born of Enki. He offered to face Tiamat, with one condition. If victorious, he demanded supreme authority. The battle was cosmic in scale. Marduk, armed with the four winds, a net, his mighty bow. He trapped Tiamat in his net. He drove the winds into her mouth. He pierced her heart with an arrow. From her body, Marduk made the universe. From one half, the dome of the sky. From the other half, the earth. From the blood of Tiamat's general, he created humans. So humans would serve the gods and free them from labor. Religion wasn't just a private belief system in Mesopotamia. It was the fundamental operating system for the entire society. Every aspect of life was viewed through a divine lens. The great temple complexes known as ziggurats were not just places of worship. They were the economic, political, and administrative heart of the city. Priests and priestesses were not just spiritual guides. They acted as scientists and astronomers. They acted as doctors. They were bureaucrats who managed vast estates and organized labor. The king was the crucial link between the divine and mortal realms. He was the chosen representative of the gods on earth. His primary duty was to maintain the cosmic order set by Marduk. That meant performing correct rituals and maintaining the temples. If the king was pious and just, the gods blessed the land with abundant harvests, military victories, and prosperity. But if he failed, the gods might withdraw favor. Famine, plague, defeat. This belief system became a tool for social and political control. The law itself was seen as a divine gift. The Code of Hammurabi begins with Shamash handing the laws to King Hammurabi. That gave the laws absolute, unquestionable authority. To break the king's law was to defy the will of the gods. This divine mandate solidified royal power, justifying hierarchies and making rebellion sacrilegious. Society, from king on his throne to the farmer in his field, was held together by this cosmic narrative. Daily life was saturated with divine presence. People wore amulets to ward off evil demons. They consulted diviners who read entrails of sheep and patterns of oil on water. Before starting a journey, before building a house, before getting married, people sought signs of divine approval. This wasn't a world of chance. Everything that happened was an intentional message from the cosmos, an ongoing effort to stay in their good graces. It's tempting to dismiss these ancient beliefs as primitive myths, but that would be a mistake. The Mesopotamians were meticulous observers of the night sky. They weren't just stargazing, they were collecting data. They believed the planets were gods moving with purpose. That belief led them to create the first predictive astronomy. They invented the zodiac, predicted eclipses, and gave us the 60-second minute, the 60-minute hour, and the 360-degree circle. Many of their myths didn't disappear, they echoed through time. Think about the Great Flood myth. The Epic of Gilgamesh predates the biblical Noah by over 1,000 years. Creation from chaos, conflict between gods, creation of humanity from clay. These motifs traveled across the ancient world. We often think these beliefs were simple and static, but Mesopotamian religion was dynamic over 3,000 years. Gods rose and fell in popularity. When Babylon dominated, Marduk became king of the gods. Myths were rewritten to reflect political reality. Religion and statecraft were tightly linked. So, why does this matter to us on our little spaceship Earth? Understanding the Mesopotamians is understanding a key chapter in the human mind. They attempted to find order in cosmic chaos and ask the big questions. Their answers were woven into myths of cosmic battles and divine wills. Our answers are woven into astrophysics and evolutionary biology. The impulse to understand our place in the universe is the same. The Mesopotamians were ancestors in this quest. Their starlit tales are the first faint echoes of our cosmic odyssey, a journey into the secret world of the Mesopotamian gods that continues to this day.